Hi darlings, good morning. My name is Danielle and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about Love is Blind Season 2. I'm so excited to be talking about this because I love Love is Blind and this season was one to remember. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna be talking about the couples and ranking of how much I like them. And so in last place is Danielle and Nick. Danielle and Nick, I think, were really cute in the pods. I just thought their connection was like really sweet and I felt like they had a good like emotional connection. They were also the first people to get engaged, which was kind of, I just think it was a little too fast for my liking, but I've never been in that experience, so who am I to talk? I thought they were really cute and he seemed really sweet and they didn't fight once in the pod, which I was like, okay, cool, that's good, because I don't really think y'all should be fighting when you're like just getting to know each other, you know? Then he proposed, which was like weird, and they met each other and it was sweet. And then they got out the pods and I swear from the beginning it was just fight. I know that Danielle has come out and said that like the portrayal of her wasn't the greatest and like wasn't really true. I feel like there's still some truth in it, even though it's highly edited. She's just very insecure. She needs to like unpack her insecurities before getting into marriage. And someone said like she needs a therapist more than she needs a husband, and I honestly definitely agree with that, just because I feel like she just needs to deal with her issues and then go and, you know, find somebody to love. The fact that her and Nick actually got married is actually insane to me. That man was sweating so much. He was sweating so much at the wedding, and I was like, I would not, like, if you're looking like that at my wedding, then you obviously do not want to get married to me. Just say no. Like, it's better for you to just say no than to be like, yes. Like, I just don't think he was really secure in that choice, and it's like really apparent because he literally like just was sweating through 3 layers. He had a 3-layer suit on and he sweat through everything. That was just terrible to me. But in the reunion episode, they said that they've been going to marriage counseling, so I'm happy that they are trying to like deal with their issues, but I just don't think that they're the healthiest couple for each other, and every single fight that they had was just dumb to me. Nick was always in everyone else's business when he should have been worrying about his own business. Like, he always wanted to know what the tea was about everyone else's relationships, but like, you have issues in your relationship, so fix that first before you come into other people's business, because that was annoying me. I wish them all the best, but I don't think they should have gotten married. On to the next couple, which is Shayna and Kyle. Shayna and Kyle are not in the last spot because I actually really do love Kyle. I think Kyle is just a sweetheart. He deserved better than Shayna and what she did to him, because she was really just not right for how she treated him. First of all, Shayna's a snake. That's just the matter. Shayna is a snake because she is out here with Kyle, accepted his proposal, and you honestly could tell that Kyle and Shayna's relationship was a better, deeper emotional connection than Shayna and Shane's. Easily. The concept, what are you wearing? Are you wearing a crop top? Like, that's dumb. So you could definitely tell that like they were not really there for love but lust. Like, they were there for the Lust is Blind. When Shayna was out here being like, I'm still in love with Shane, I was like, what are you in love with? Like, what are you in love with? But anyway, I feel like I liked Shayna at first because once she found out that Shane had asked Natalie to be his girlfriend, she was like, oh, I don't want to be like in the middle of that. Like, you can have her, and that is that. After she accepted Kyle's proposal, she was out here in the pods talking to Shane. So that's one of the things. If she really cared that much about religion, I feel like she should have brought it up earlier. Like, I feel like if that is so important to you, then that should be like a main talking point. And obviously, like, you don't want to make someone run away by like talking about religion, like, I get that, but if that meant so much to her that like she was literally gonna not date Kyle for that, then like it should have been an important thing that she brought up earlier than later. And I feel like she definitely like owes that to Kyle, like the honesty of being like, yeah, that's on me for like not telling you that. Like, I should have been more upfront with what really mattered to me. But I also think that Kyle should have just like not proposed to her because he was a little bit manipulative. Not manipulative, but I think like bringing out his mom's ring like kind of just threw Shayna off. But also, if you are so strong in your religion and you know that you're not going to compromise that, she still should have just said no. She knew that she was not going to marry this man, so why continue the relationship? Apparently he was with Deepti and we didn't see any of that, and I was like, guys, why don't we show that? Show the clips, run the back. I wish we'd gotten to see Kyle with more people. And with Shayna trying to be a homewrecker before they even got married, she was already saying, if it breaks up, like, what are you doing? What are you saying? That is so mean. That is so terrible. Imagine like one of your, I guess, acquaintances or friends being like, yeah, girl, if you all don't get married, like, I got men for you. Like, what? That is so extremely rude. Shayna is a weirdo. And I feel like she could have been really better, but she's just not like a good person at heart. Like, I just don't think that she's a good person. But I do want to say that at the reunion, she kept looking like, I was watching the reunion with my parents. My dad just kept making fun of her Botox because it was terrible and she just looked bad. The next couple is Natalie and Shake. First of all, I love Natalie. I love Natalie. She seems like a sweetheart. She seems like just like the sweetest friend ever. Like, I love her. Shayna, on the other hand, is a baby. He's a child and should not be married. So I'm happy that they didn't get married. I think in the pods, Natalie and Shane were really sweet up until he's literally gaslit her and got mad at her for being mad at him for thinking that she was Shayna, which was a rightful reason for her to be mad because they had been getting to know each other. He was her number one and he had been telling her all these things, and then he was like, "Are you Shayna? What are you wearing?" That was rude and disrespectful. I hated Shayna at that point because he gaslit her, and that is not the way to start a relationship. But somehow and for some reason, Natalie took that man back. I don't know why, I don't know how, because she deserved better, but she did. She was in love. They got engaged and it was really sweet. And after that, honestly, I felt like their relationship was honestly like pretty strong. Everyone was so sure that they were gonna get married, and I was like, okay, I feel like these people probably see more and better than we do, so I'm gonna trust their opinions. And honestly, they were like really right. Like, Natalie was really secure. Shane was really secure, even though whenever they fought, he would always just walk away, and that always like was just a red light to me. In Mexico, when they were fighting, he was like, I can't do this anymore, and just walked away. That is a red flag. Natalie was willing to, like, you know, fix everything. And I think the real stars of the show are the parents this season, which I'll talk to you about more with Deepti too. But Natalie's dad was such a sweetheart. I literally loved him so much. I thought he was just so precious, being so supportive of her and just being like, okay. Like, when she told them about the fact that she was like in the experiment, she didn't even tell her parents before she left. Like, he was just like, okay. And her mom was just really more skeptical, which obviously you need a parent that's gonna be like, okay, whoa. Her dad just being so supportive and just being like, go with your heart, was so sweet. Honestly, before all of the mess of that last fight, I think they were such a sweet couple, and it really seemed like they really liked each other and loved each other. So you know what, I was rooting for them because it seemed like love was blind. But there were always those issues with the two of them, just the way that they like were wired and worked, and I think it just came out more in that last thing when he said that he hated her. What I will say is that I don't know why Shane decided to say such hateful words to Natalie and expect her to say yes the next day. Like, what are you doing? But I'm happy that she chose herself and she said no. I don't get why he got mad and was like, oh, we can never be back together. Like, okay, y'all definitely tried it and it just wasn't working, and that's okay. Natalie and Shayna and Kyle, I do appreciate the fact that he was like, I'm in a relationship with Natalie, I feel secure, I don't know why you're talking crap about us, like, you need to stop. Like, I did appreciate that he was defending their relationship, because I do think he really did love Natalie. It was just like bad timing. And in the reunion, I just think it was like really apparent that like there was something serious between them, and it just ended up not working. And you know what, that is okay. And on their wedding day, he just looked so uncomfortable. Like, he kept moving around and he was just acting so weird, and so I was very apparent that this was just not gonna work. So with Natalie and Shane, I just hope the best for Natalie, because I love Natalie, and I hope that Shane kind of grows up a bit more. He's just not mature. He's not mature enough to be married. The Shane situation was just a mess. So yeah, I think Natalie and Shane, they could have been married. I really do think that if that fight had not happened, that they'll be married today. The next couple that I'm talking about is Mallory and Sal. Mallory and Sal were a couple that I honestly was so confused about, especially when Jared and Mallory ended, which I'll talk about when I talk about Jared and Ayanna. When Jared and Mallory ended, it was just so weird to me, because she was like, I feel like I have a stronger connection with Sal, but I don't really feel like they showed us that, like, to the viewers. Like, I was like, okay. I'm honestly happy that she chose Sal, because I think they were just really sweet, but they both like really didn't like each other, and she did not find him attractive. And that's the truth of the matter. Like, we gotta be honest sometimes. She did not think that he was good looking, and that's okay. But I think from the beginning, that was already like, uh-oh. They had their issues. He had a girlfriend. Apparently, the whole conversation that Jared and Mallory had in Mexico about her ring just really like threw him off. Like, I thought their engagement was ending there. Like, they had that scene where Sal was just like, I want to go home in Mexico, that literally was never talked about again, and they were just like all good the next day, and I was just like, whoa, because he was ready to go. That was like weird to me. Mallory and Sal were never gonna work because they were just so different. As much as they tried, it was just never gonna work. I think that Sal was really trying, but I think Mallory kind of already knew, and and then she was like secure in him, I feel like, but then he lost his security in her, so it was just kind of a mess. And the fact that her family wasn't supportive also, like, that's definitely gonna throw someone off. I feel the same way, because when you looked at the wedding day, like, her side was like really empty, and it was like sad to see, honestly, but that also is like a red flag to Sal, and so it makes sense to me why he felt that way. When Sal was like no, I was not expecting that. I thought that Mallory was gonna say no, so when Sal was like no, I was like, oh my gosh. But then when Mallory was like it's okay and just left, that was so funny to me. I think at the reunion when it was their turn to talk and Sal was just like, I don't want to talk about it, I was like, what happened? There's so much stuff that we do not know, because he really was just like, I don't feel like talking about it again, like we've been through it, we know what happened, and we're not doing it again. And I was just like, there was something going on that we did not know about, and him talking about how he didn't feel heard in the relationship was honestly really sad. And so I'm happy that Sal chose himself and was like no, because you deserve to be heard in your relationship, like you deserve to feel completely and wholly loved, and if you're not feeling that way, then you gotta move on. When Jared and Sal was like, you are a bad person for doing that, okay, I do think that conversation that Mallory and Sal had at the bar in Mexico was completely inappropriate, especially with their fiancés both being like literally 2 feet away. But I also do understand that like they had never seen each other in person, and they were just like, wow, like this is what could have possibly happened. But that threw the relationship off in the beginning, and then all of their issues. But you know what, I'm happy for Mallory. I like Mallory, I really do like Mallory. And Sal's like, okay, his singing literally, that man was annoying. I'm sorry, I really don't like Sal's voice. He was just annoying me every single time that ukulele was played. I was like, shut up. And he's like, my fiance's harder than Beyonce. The next couple I want to talk about is Deepti and Shake, and I put them as my number 2 because I honestly was really supportive of them. In the pod, Shake was already like, ooh, can I hold you in a music festival? What is wrong with you? But then he was like, you know what, I learned that was wrong, and I feel like I was wrong, and I apologize for that. And I was like, okay, like self-awareness, period, go. And they proposed, and it was so cute, and he grabbed her little booty, which was consensual. He said that he had asked her beforehand, but still was like, okay. They got out into Mexico, and she was really feeling him, and she was ready to go, and he was like, I don't find you attractive. First of all, Deepti's beautiful, amazing, like gorgeous inside and out, so don't be rude to her. But also the fact that like he just kept on saying it. You remind me of my aunt. I feel like I'm with a family member. This, and that. Shut up. Shake is insecure and he's a narcissist, like Ayanna said, and that just really annoyed me. But one thing that I really did appreciate was when he told his mom was like, I'm on her side, you need to break it up. And I was like, period, because that is a queen. Because for her to call him out and be like, you're wrong, like she's beautiful, first of all, you should not be continuing this relationship if you don't find her attractive. Like, move on and drop her. Stop telling everybody you don't find her attractive. That's rude and disrespectful to her as well. Her family was so sweet and supportive, and I just wish that like Shake wasn't such a freaking jerk telling everyone that he didn't find her attractive. Their wedding was really pretty. Like if it had actually gone along, I feel like it would have been really pretty. I'm happy that she wore her traditional Indian wedding dress because she looked absolutely stunning and absolutely beautiful. When the girls were on their bachelorette boat and Deepti was like, I deserve to be someone who loves me wholly and like fully, to Ayanna, I was like, period, per, exactly, because she deserves so much love and she is so worthy of that love. And so I'm really happy that she chose herself, and I'm so happy that her parents were so supportive. That scene with her mom was just so sweet and it made me cry. I just love how much like her parents were supportive. I just loved her parents so much. So I'm really happy that Deepti chose herself. Now talking about the reunion, the fact that Evelyn was like, we're only scratching the surface of what Shake was saying about Deepti literally like breaks my heart, because it means that Shake was saying such terrible things that they couldn't even include them on the show, and that is so terrible that he was being so rude to her. Like, she deserves so much better. When Deepti was talking about Shake, she said that Jared and I think Kyle were the 2 guys that were telling her not to marry Shake because of the crap that he was talking about her. And I was like, okay, period, because Jared is a real one. And we found out that Kyle and Deepti had a thing. First of all, I need that. Like, I really wish that we had seen more of that to see like what could have been. Shake literally butting into everyone's conversation, making it the Shake show, being like, love isn't blind, it's blurry. You signed up for Love is Blind, so shut up, because you knew what you were doing. You knew that like what you were signing up for. And he was like, I mean, I still have my preferences. Okay, then don't get on this show. Like Vanessa said, you're on the wrong dating show. And also Shake being like, the only person I find attractive here is Vanessa, with her husband right there. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Yes, Shake is dumb. So I think Shake just literally needs to, like Ayanna said, go to therapy to stop being a narcissist, because that's what he is. And yes, he very much was there for the fame and the glory, and that's why he continued the relationship with Deepti, which is so sick and unfair to Deepti to continue that relationship knowing that he full and well did not want to. And at the wedding when he was like, it's still a party, I got no reservations tomorrow. Who cares? who cares? I can go to Nobu tomorrow too. Like, shut up. He was just so dumb. So that's how I feel about freaking Shake and Deepti. I wish Deepti all the best, and I hope Shake goes and works on himself because he needs to. And now for the last and final couple, but the most important and special to my heart, is Ayanna and Jared. First of all, I want to say that Ayanna was Jared's second choice, and I don't think that that's fair to Ayanna because she did his first choice. But I'm happy that she said yes to him because they are the cutest couple ever. I love them so much, and I think their relationship is just so sweet. The way that they support each other, the way that they love each other, their like banter is so funny. Like, they are so funny together and they're so cute together. I think Ayanna's reservations about marriage and like Jared's lifestyle are so valid and were so valid because he was out here partying and she was just at home, like literally gone to bed. And I was like, we're not bringing that into marriage. So I'm really happy for them, and I'm so excited for the two of them. I just love them so much. I think Ayanna is amazing. Jared is also a really great guy, and he obviously really loves her. And I loved both of their parents. I love that Jared's dad was like, I need to officiate the wedding. That was just so sweet. They were just so supportive from the beginning. I was like, yes. And then Ayanna's parents being like a little guarded, but I also really loved Ayanna's parents because they prayed before the wedding. It was such a sweet moment. And so I just love Ayanna and Jared. Those two are so cute and precious, and I'm rooting for them. I follow Ayanna on Instagram, and I'm just so happy for the two of them that they got married, and they were the best couple out of the show, period. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any opinions about Love is Blind season 2, please leave them down below. I am excited for Love is Blind season 3, which I don't know if it's confirmed yet. I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day, and bye.